Okay.
They said they're getting paid the same rate whether or not they speak.
Okay. That's it. All right. No overtime. Consumers are so much more careful today about how we spend. Today we shop price tag, not brand label in the collar, right? We'd rather go and buy at a discount than pay full price in a designer shop. And so many of the discounters have those labels available now. So price tags are more important than labels. Big box. This is a huge trend. We shop differently now. We buy in bulk. We go to places like Walmart or Costco. For a while, we were going to Best Buy. They're in serious trouble right now because we figured that if we can buy in a no-frills setting, in volume, and if they're purchasing in volume, we get better pricing. So that's also a net subtraction. It's a zero-sum game, right? It's a zero-sum game. If you have $1 billion of spending in retail shopping in a given market, and if more people start to buy their goods at discount at Walmart instead of making 10 stops at individual stores to buy all those things individually, Walmart's gain is the strip center's loss. And now these big boxes are into groceries. They're into all sorts of avenues that are starting to subtract, and so that's a big piece. Also, big boxes, some of them like Best Buy, are now experimenting with smaller footprint stores. And that takes up less space. Why are they doing that? Because the online craze is just getting started, and it's accelerating rapidly. As consumers, as baby boomers get older in age, and younger households take up the spending reins, those younger people are just more comfortable with technology, on a digital device, and do your purchases, while you're doing something else, and have it shipped to your door. Just getting started. And that's a net subtraction from what happens in the stores. Best Buy's problem is that people go to Best Buy to shop the product, to hear it, to test it, to touch it, to see it, and then they go on home, order it online from Amazon.com, and Amazon.com has not only a lower price, but doesn't charge them a sales tax. Right? Can't compete. That is changing. Did you hear that? I'm so glad you said that. That is changing because states around the country said, enough of that, you need to pay a sales tax. And New Jersey is one of those states. New Jersey, California, Georgia. And the attitude was, listen, you guys are just skipping out on the tax, and we in the state need the money. So we're taking you to court. Amazon has settled those disputes. And here's the deal. The deal is that they will start collecting sales taxes, but not until, I think, 2015. That's what Amazon got out of it. They got an abatement, if you will. What did the states get out of it? States said, in order for us to not insist that you pay us beginning today and retroactively, you need to build a warehouse in our state, a couple of them in the case of New Jersey, create construction jobs, create spending, create permanent jobs in your warehouse, and pay real estate taxes over the long term. And Amazon said, okay, we're in. We'll build one. They're actually looking at a site just near to exit 8A right now, and they're looking at a site up in North Jersey. They said they're going to do it. But they're smarter than the average bear. I can tell you what's next for them. They will have, within a year, 2 at the most, same-day delivery at no cost. Because what they said is, okay, so if we have to do it, we'll do it. But as long as we're only going to be no more than an hour and a half from anyone that lives in New Jersey between our 2 sites, we're going to a same-day delivery mechanism. Now, have you noticed that when you shop online today, have you noticed this? Are you getting an email that says your product has shipped? And are you getting that email the same day you place the order? It's left the warehouse. That's what's happening. Everyone in online shopping is gearing up for this because they see it as a competitive advantage. And you're not going to pay extra for it. You're going to order it online. They're going to put it on a truck that day. And by the way, it's the same trucks, whether it's UPS or FedEx, the same trucks carry the package that you paid a premium for to get it next day as the product that you paid no extra for and you're just paying a standard shipping cost. They go on the same planes and trucks to get to you. The only real difference is how quick it gets out of the warehouse. Once it gets out of the warehouse, UPS doesn't look at that and say, well, they're paying us more on this one, so leave that one behind. I'll pick it up next Thursday. They don't do that. There's no efficiency in that. It's going side by side with the same package. And the online retailers have said, okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to get everything shipped out the same day. And since we're going to be in your state anyway, we'll have a private delivery network that'll bring it to your house. In fact, they've got one step further. They are negotiating deals with a major pharmacy chain right now, a pharmacy chain that has a store almost in every town. And what they're going to offer to you is, because you may not be home, and you may not want it left on your doorstep, maybe you're in an apartment, they can't get inside. What they're going to do is they're going to drop it off at the pharmacy. The pharmacy is going to put in a counter. Someone will be there, and you'll show them your ID on your way home, and they're going to hand you your package, which is probably no more than 5 minutes from your house. No extra cost, same-day delivery. You've got it to use or play with that night, and the drugstore is saying, and while you're here, we're figuring that you're going to buy some aspirin or some chewy candies or some shampoo. Retail's got a big problem here. Brick and stick and mortar retail stores are going to have a very hard time competing. Okay, retail sales, rising, 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 all through the recovery. Rising retail sales, fairly durable, some high spots and low spots, but generally resale sales have been increasing at an annualized pace of about 4% a year. Very positive indicator for retail demand, but it's not translating into the retail markets. Vacancy, you can see, has hardly come down for all the reasons I just explained to you. We're not shopping in those same stores. We're going big box, and we're buying increasingly online. We are seeing some positive absorption, but the positive absorption now is beginning to wither, decline, erode, in concert with the slowing pace of economic recovery. A long road back for retail. Opportunity is that where it's growing, the demand is growing, and the numbers are very positive, is in central business districts, because as we'll talk about later, not only are businesses heading downtown, back to places that are walkable, have trains, and are close to cities and airports, but so are people. People are heading back to there as well, because at $3.50 a gallon, the drive till you qualify approach to home buying doesn't work. You can drive an extra 45 minutes away to find from where your job is to find a house that's more affordable. But if you put all of that savings back into your gas tank and more, you don't come out ahead. Which is why when you go to Europe, have you ever been to Europe? Here's what you'll see. If you get in a car, which is, there's not a lot of cars, right? Why aren't there a lot of cars? People don't need them, because they live in the central business district and walk or bicycle or scooter or take mass transportation. Why are they doing that? Because gas prices there have been high for decades. Long time. You go 10 miles outside of the city center, all you see is pasture in Europe. It's an efficiency thing. Nobody could afford the time, the money, the car, the driving. Nobody's doing that. That's where we're going. Rents are rising, but very modestly, and losing momentum in retail as well. Property index at 127 today for retail space versus year 2000. So you can see that we've seen some gain, but nothing like the slope that we saw for the apartment market. Industrial and warehousing, this is a bright spot. This is one of the top performing commercial real estate sectors, and there's a whole lot of reasons for it, but what I'm going to tell you is that first, we've had rising spending, and a large share of that increase is now in online, and when you buy online, you know where you're really buying? You're not buying from the retail store, you're buying from the warehouse. See, when you buy from a store, it goes from the tanker in a foreign country, China, to the port, West Coast, East Coast, onto rail or trucks to a warehouse. From the warehouse, It goes to the store, which doesn't have a lot of space, and every time you buy from the store, the retailer reorders from the warehouse. When you buy online, you're going right to the source. You're buying right from the warehouse to you. And so the increase in online sales has hurt retail commercial strip space demand, but boosted warehouse demand.